में चले जाओ, जूम में
हाँ, आप जूम पे चले जाओ,
प्रेजेंट
सब
कर
कुछ
लेते हो। मैं
रेडी कर लो। हाँ हाँ, रेडी
आप
कर लो।
मुझे ऑप्शन दे देना बस कब लाइव है, व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिएगा।
नहीं
जी
मैम, आलोक
कौस्तभ,
हाँ
मैं जैसे ही लाइव करूंगा तो आपको यहीं पे बता दूंगा, आप एक मैम को थम्स अप भेज देना।
ना
ठीक है, ठीक है।
ओके कौस्तुभ सर, आप थम्स अप बस कर देना मुझे।
हाँ हाँ,
ऑल राइट,
ओके। I'm removing you now. Okay.
ओके ओके ओके। Okay, hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Swiflearn, my little mathematicians. How are you all? Hope you all are fine and your studies are also going well. What do you all say? Yes? Okay, great. So, everyone, let me just check how many of you have joined the session. Okay, I'm just checking how many of you have joined the session. Okay, hello Mayank. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes. So lots of students have joined the session, and already you all know me. I am your maths instructor. My name is Meenal Bhare. Okay, and today I am here with the second session of polynomial. Okay, on Saturday we have discussed the first session, and today is the second session of polynomial. Got it, everyone? Okay, so ready for today's session? Yes. So come on, tell me fast. Are you all ready for today's session? Yes, tell me, everyone. Okay, so you all are ready. So with great enthusiasm, let's start the session. Okay, all right, everyone. So we have learned about basics of polynomial and zeros of polynomial and linear and quadratic polynomial in the last session. Okay. So before starting the session, let me introduce you with Swiflearn. Swiflearn is India's most sincere learning platform for the classes 3rd to 10. We will provide you 100% live interactive classes. Okay, and in every batch we have a maximum of 6 students, so that we will give personalized attention to each and every student in each and every class. And also we have a dedicated academic mentor team to track and work on the student progress, and we will provide the feedback to the students on the timely basis, so that you just check how is your progress going on. And also we cover the syllabus as per the school ICSE syllabus and the CBSE syllabus as per the school exam, and also handle the custom request whenever you require, and we will also arrange the class accordingly. Okay, all right, let's move to our key features. So we will provide the detailed progress reports to the parents so that they track their child's progress. And also you can take unlimited practice tests, many practice tests. Okay, so that you will check your progress. And also we will provide you the Swiflearn academic test series on the monthly basis. And also you can also give the subjective test for school exam, so that you check your school progress also. Okay, and if you want to experience a quality teaching with Swiflearn, book the classes with the Swiflearn and experience the quality teaching with our teachers. Okay, everyone. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move. If you have not subscribed to our channel, click on the subscribe button, press the bell icon so that you never miss any update with the Swiflearn. And if you like the videos, click on the like button, comment, and don't forget to share it with your friends. Okay, everyone? All right. So let's start the session. So this is the second section of the polynomial, and today we will discuss about the geometrical meaning of zeros of polynomial. Okay, so ready everyone? I think you all are ready with your pen and copy. What do you all say? Yes, ready with your pen and copy. Okay. So before starting the session, give me a virtual high five. Yes. All right, everyone. So let's move on to the objective of today's class. So what we are going to discuss today, firstly we will recall what we have discussed in the last class, that is on Saturday. So we will recall the polynomial and its example, and zeros of linear and quadratic polynomial. These two topics we have discussed in the last session. Alright. And today what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss graphical representation of linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial and cubic polynomial. And also using that graphical representation, we will find number of zeros in linear, quadratic and cubic polynomial. Alright everyone, so ready? Okay, let's start the session. So first recall what we have discussed in the last class, that is on Saturday. Okay, so we have discussed about polynomials. Okay, once again let's discuss about the polynomial. So what's the meaning of polynomial? Yes, poly means, I've already discussed this, poly means many and nomial means what? Nomial means terms. The polynomial is nothing but it consists of many terms. For example, I will give you an example. So the example for the polynomial, let's take it as 4x square plus 3x minus 2. Okay, so what's the definition of polynomial? It is an expression which consists variables, constant and coefficient. It consists of what? Variables, constant and coefficient. Okay, so here what's the variable in this example? The variable here is x. Alright, okay everyone. What's the constant here? The constant here is 2. This is the constant term here. Yes, okay. And what is the coefficient? What's the meaning of coefficient? I've already discussed about this. For example, if I say what is the coefficient of x squared? So the coefficient of x squared is nothing but it is 4. What is the coefficient of x? It's nothing but it is 3. Okay? Alright, so this is the coefficient. So what is polynomial? It is an expression which consists of variables, constant and coefficient. But you have to keep this second point in mind. The coefficient, the exponent of of variables. The exponent of variables should be non-negative integral. You have to keep this thing in mind. It should be non-negative integral value only. For example, if I say one of the example as 4x raised to the power minus 3. It is not a polynomial because here the exponent, this raised to the power is nothing but it is the exponent. This exponent should be non-negative integral. It should be not positive integral. Okay, it should be non-negative integral. Got it? So now I think you understood what's the meaning of polynomial. So we have recalled what's the meaning of polynomial. Okay everyone, so let's move on. Let's move on to the next slide and here. So in the last session we have discussed what's the degree of a polynomial, and I think you all remember what's the meaning of the degree of a polynomial. What you all say? You all remember all these things? Okay, let's revise. So in the last class I have discussed that what's the degree of a polynomial? Degree of a polynomial is nothing but it is the maximum exponent of its term. Okay, so it is nothing but it is the maximum exponent of its term. Maximum exponent value of its term. For example, here if I say what's the degree, so here the degree is maximum exponent is what? 2. Here what is the degree? It is 1. Here what is the degree? The maximum exponent value is 3. And at last, what's the degree? So the degree is 5. Got it? So we know what's the degree of a polynomial. It is the maximum exponent value of its term. Got it everyone? Okay, that's great. If you all understood this thing, let's move on to the next thing. Alright, so before starting anything, let me just share one more thing. So we have actually in the last class we have discussed about the linear polynomial, the quadratic polynomial, and we also heard about the term that cubic polynomial. So how we can name them as a linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial on the basis of this. Okay, I'm sharing one table with you. So degree, it is a table between degree and polynomial. Got it everyone? Okay. Alright, so let's have a look. Okay, just a minute. So if I say if the degree of a polynomial is 1, okay, what I'm saying, if the degree of a polynomial is what? If the degree of a polynomial is 1, then that polynomial is nothing but it is a linear polynomial. Alright, so on the basis of degree, the polynomials are named as linear. So if degree is 1, then it is known as what? Linear polynomial. If degree is 2, alright, so then it is known as what? If degree is 2, then it is known as quadratic polynomial. Alright, quadratic polynomial. Okay, and what about if degree is 3? I think now you all know. If the degree is 3, then it is known as what? It is known as cubic polynomial. Alright, so when degree is 3, then it is known as what? Cubic polynomial. Okay, and what about 4? Okay, let's have a look. If the degree is 4, then it is known as what? Just a minute, everyone. So if degree is 4, then it is known as quartic polynomial. Quartic polynomial. Got it? And what about if degree is 5? Let's have a look. So anyone wants to say if degree is 5, then it is known as what? Just comment me in the comment section. Okay. So if degree of a polynomial is 5, then it is known as quintic polynomial. Quintic polynomial. Got it? But actually in exam, these three types of polynomial are mainly focused. In today's session also, we will focus on these three polynomials only. If the degree is 1, then it is known as linear. If the degree is 2, then it is known as quadratic. If degree is 3, then it is known as cubic. Alright. And what about if degree is 4, then it is known as quartic. And when degree is 5, then it is known as quintic. Got it everyone? Any doubt till here? किसी को कोई भी problem? ये सारी चीजें हमने last class में discuss की थी. And I think till here you have no problem at all. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to the next slide, and here is the next slide. Okay, so in the last class we have discussed about the zero of a polynomial. Let's discuss what we have discussed in the last class. So zero of a polynomial is nothing but it is what? Zero of a polynomial are the real values of the variable for which the value of the polynomial becomes zero. That means the value of a variable, when we put the value of that variable, then the expression, the polynomial expression becomes what? It becomes 0. Okay, so that is the zero of a polynomial. And we have discussed about this in the last class in very detail. Yes. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So in the last class, what we have discussed about the zeros of a polynomial, that is a linear polynomial, as well as a quadratic polynomial. Okay, so let's have a look. So in the last class, I think I have given a homework, one question as a homework to you, all of you. And that question is this one. So let's start this question and let's do this question, this homework question together. What do you all think? I know आपने सभी ने ये question I think homework वाला question solve कर लिया होगा, but let's have a look. Let's solve this question together and revise what's the meaning of a zero of the quadratic polynomial and what's the step that we have to follow. Okay. So we have already discussed this question 1 and question 2 in the last session, and this question I have given you as a homework. So let's solve this question together. So the question is px equals to 4x squared plus 9x plus 2. Alright, so this is our question. Just a minute. Nothing. Alright. Okay. So let's solve this question. What is the first step? First we have to put this px equals to 0. That is 4x square plus 9x plus 2 equals to what? 0. Then what is the second step? Second step is nothing but it is the splitting of middle term. And alright, so we have to split the middle term, that is 9x. And we have to take the coefficient of what? We have to take the coefficient of x square and the constant term in such a way that their factors sum will be equals to what? Their factor sum will be equals to 9. Alright. So what is the coefficient of x square? That is 4. What is the coefficient? Means the constant term, that is 2. We have to take a multiplication of this. Alright. So 4 into 2 is what? It is 8. Alright everyone. Okay. And when I split this, I have to take the factor of 8 like this, that when we add these two factors, we will get 9 as a sum. So what are the factors? 8, 1 are the factors. Alright everyone. Okay, just a minute. I have to check. किसी को कोई doubt तो नहीं है यहाँ तक? No? Alright. So the factors that we are taking is 8 and 1, and their sum is also equals to what? Middle term. So let's split the middle term. 4x square plus 8x plus x plus 2 equals to what? 0. Okay. Alright. Then next what we have to do? We have to take common. From first two term, what we will take as a common? 4x. Yes. So from first two term, we will take 4x as a common. And what is left? X plus 2. Alright. And from this third and the fourth term, what we'll take as a common? We will take 1 as a common. And what is left? X plus 2 equals to 0. Alright. Now let's solve the next step. Then out of these two terms, can we take x plus 2 as a common? Yes, x plus 2 is common. Very good. And next what we will do? We will take 4x from the first term and from the second term 1 is left. So these are the two terms. Okay. And now if x plus 2 and 4x plus 1 equals to 0, this means what? This means x plus 2 equals to 0 and 4x plus 1 equals to what? Is equals to 0. Got it everyone? Okay. Now when we solve this, what we will get? X equals to minus 2 and x equals to, when I shift this 1, so minus 1 by 4. So what you all say? Minus 2 and minus 1 by 4 are the zeros of px, that is 4x square plus 9x plus 2. So what's the answer? Answer is x equals to minus 2 and x equals to minus 4 are the zeros of 4x square plus 9x plus 2. Got it everyone? Okay, till here any doubt? Let me just check. किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है, किसी को कोई डाउट तो नहीं है यहां तक? Yes? No doubt at all? Okay. If you all say मैम कोई डाउट नहीं है, कोई भी छोटा वाला कोई भी मोटा वाला डाउट नहीं है किसी को, so let's have a look to the next one. Okay, let's move to the fourth one, that is 7x square plus 6x minus 1. And I think अब तो सबको बन जाएगा और हम साथ में सॉल्व करते हैं इस क्वेश्चन को. Okay, so here the expression is 7x square plus 6x minus 1. This is the polynomial. Okay, what's the first step? We have to put this polynomial equals to 0. Then what is the second step? We have to split this middle term. Let's have a look. So how we are going to split this middle term? We have to take the coefficient of x square and the coefficient of constant term and we have to multiply them, and whatever will be the answer, we have to take that factor. So what are the factors of 7? The factor of 7 is 7 and 1. Okay, and we have to keep those two factors of 7 so that their multiplication, so that their addition or subtraction will be equals to what? Their subtraction or addition will be equals to 6. Alright, so how we are going to take this one? 7x squared plus 7x minus x minus 1 equals to 0. And see, when we subtract these, so what we will get? Or we can say when we add these, we will get 6x. And their multiplication is also equals to what? Their multiplication is also equals to 7. Okay, means minus 7. Yes? Alright, now we have to take common. So from the first two terms, what we will take as a common? 7x. Okay, and we are left with x plus 1. And out of the third and the fourth term, what we will take as a common? We will take minus 1 as a common and x plus 1 is left. That is equals to 0. Okay. And out of these two terms, what is common? X plus 1 is common. Okay. So I will take x plus 1 as a common. And what is left? 7x minus 1 is left. And that is equals to what? That is equals to 0. Okay. Now this means x plus 1 equals to 0 and 7x minus 1 equals to what? It is equals to 0. Alright. And when I solve this one, so I will get x equals to minus 1 and x equals to what? X equals to 1 by 7. So these are my two zeros of this polynomial 7x square minus plus 6x minus 1. So what's the answer? Answer is minus 1 and 1 by 7 are the zeros of polynomial px equals to 7x square plus 6x minus 1. Got it? So these are the two zeros of this polynomial 7x square plus 6x minus 1. Okay everyone? Alright. So any doubt till here? And we have revised everything that we have discussed in the last class. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic. And actually the topic for today's class, let's have a look. So what we are going to discuss today, we will discuss the graphical representation of linear, quadratic and cubic polynomial. Okay everyone, so ready for that? Okay. So first is a graphical representation of linear polynomial. So what is the general form of linear polynomial? That is ax plus b. Y equals to what? Ax plus b. And I think now you all know how to draw a graph. In the earlier classes, that is in the classes 8th and 7th, we have discussed that how to draw a graph. But today also we'll discuss how to draw a graph, how to plot a graph. Okay. So let's take an example. So I've taken an example as one of the polynomial as y equals to 3x plus 2. Okay. So to plot a graph, we have to obtain the values of x by putting y equals to 0 and vice versa. Means first I will put x equals to 0 and then obtain the value of y, and then next I will put y equals to 0 and obtain the value of x. Got it? Alright. So first when x equals to 0, what's the value of y? When x equals to 0, y equals to 2. And when y equals to 0, what's the value of x? X will be equals to what? Minus 2 by 3. Okay. And when I plot these 2 points, that is the first point is what? 0 comma 2, and the second point is what? Minus 2 by 3 comma 0. So when I plot these 2 points on the graph, I will get what? This is the first point 0 comma 2, and this is the second point, that is minus 2 by 3 comma 0. And when I join these 2 points, I will get this as a line. This is straight line. So the graph of y equals to 3x plus 2 is what? It is a straight line intersects x-axis at a point minus 2 by 3. Got it? Alright. If you got this thing, then let's have a look. Okay. So, what's the graphical meaning of a 0 of a linear polynomial? The 0 of 3x plus 2. Our polynomial, linear polynomial is what? Y equals to 3x plus 2. And the 0 of 3x plus 2 is what? Minus 2 by 3. And the 0 of polynomial 3x plus 2 is the x coordinate of a point, this point, where the graph y equals to 2x plus 3 intersects the x-axis. Got it? So, जब भी आपको क्या करना होगा? जब भी आपको ग्राफ से 0 निकालना होगा. So if you want to find the 0 out of the graph, so what you have to check? You have to check the x coordinate of a point where the given graph intersects the x-axis. तो हमारे इस वाले क्वेश्चन में x-axis को ग्राफ कहाँ पे कट कर रहा है? At point minus 2 by 3. So what is the 0 of this graph? That is graph y equals to 2x plus 3. So the 0 is minus 2 by 3. Got it? So you have to keep this thing in mind. So the 0 of a polynomial is the x coordinate of the point where the graph where a graph y equals to 2x plus 3 intersects the x-axis. Got it? So x coordinate of a point where the graph y equals to 2x plus 3 intersects the x-axis. Got it everyone? Yes? Okay. So you got this thing. Let's have a look to the next and let's solve one question. Before that, just have a look for the general equation. So, in general, for a linear polynomial ax plus b, where a is not equals to 0. Alright, the graph of y equals to ax plus b is a straight line. So, the graph of a linear polynomial is always a straight line, which intersects x-axis at exactly one point, mainly that is equals to what? Minus b by a comma 0. Always remember that the 0 of a linear graph is nothing but it is equals to what? The constant term divided by the coefficient of x, that is with a negative sign, the constant term divided by the coefficient of x. So minus b by a comma 0. Got it everyone? Till here, any doubt? I think you all understood this thing. Yes, my smart little mathematicians. I think you all understood this thing. So let's have a look to the one question. So here what's the question? Which of the following are linear polynomial graph? And actually answer is already given. But I know आप सभी को ये question का answer बन जाएगा. So let's have a look. So the first question is what? It's a straight line and it intersects the x-axis at what? At only one point. Okay, so that's why it's a what? It's a linear graph. It's a linear polynomial graph. Okay, it's a straight line and it intersects x-axis at only one point. That's why it's a linear. And if I talk about the second graph, again it's a linear polynomial and it intersects x-axis at what? Exactly at one point. That's why again it's a linear polynomial. And if I talk about the third graph, It's not a linear graph because it intersects the x-axis at 2 points, and again it's not a straight line, it's a parabolic in shape. That's why it's not a linear graph. So the first and second one is a linear graph, and it intersects x-axis at what? At only 1 point. Got it everyone? Yes, understood this thing? Okay, let me just check किसी को कहीं पे कोई डाउट तो नहीं है? Okay, so no doubt at all. If you all say, let's have a look to the next one. Yes. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. That is a graphical representation of a quadratic polynomial y equals to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay. So what the general form of the quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. Let's have a look over one question. One polynomial is x square plus 2x minus 3. Alright, and how we will obtain the graph? By plotting the values of different values of x, and we will obtain the different values of y. So we will put values of x, value of y will be obtained gradually so that we can plot a graph. Alright, I will explain you one. If I put x equals to minus 4, what I will get? If x equals to minus 4, then y equals to what? 16 minus 8 minus 3, that means it is equals to what? 5. Got it? So similarly, if I put x equals to minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, I will get different values of y. Okay. And using this value, let's plot a graph. So let's have a look. This is the plot. This is the plot of what? X square plus 2x minus 3. I have put the different values of x, and then I will obtain the different values of y, and then I will plot these values, these points in this graph. Got it? So as we can see, when coefficient of x square is positive, here the coefficient of x square is what? Positive. So what kind of graph we will get? We will get a parabola that is upward. Means it is upward in direction. Got it? Till here, any doubt? No? Let's have a look. Just one more thing. So here the graph cut x-axis at what? At how many points? The graph cut x-axis at 1 point and 2 point. So can you tell me what are the zeros of this graph? The zeros are minus 3 and 1. Yes? Zeros are what? Minus 3 and 1. Got it? So the parabolic, or I will say quadratic polynomial graph intersects x-axis at how many points? At 2 points. Got it? This graph cut x-axis at 2 points. Okay, let's have a look over the one more question. एक और क्वेश्चन हम चेक करते हैं, and the question is like this. Y equals to minus 2x square plus 4x minus 4. Alright, in the same way, in the last example, how we will obtain this graph? By putting the different values of x, and we will obtain the different values of y. So when I put x equals to minus 1, I will get y equals to minus 10 by putting the value over here, over this polynomial equation. Alright, when I put x equals to 0, I will get different point. So using these points, what I will do? I will draw a graph like this. So the graph for y equals to minus 2x square plus 4x minus 4 is what? It is again a parabola, but now here the direction is what? The direction is downward. Why? Because the coefficient of x square here is negative. Got it? When the coefficient of x square is positive, the graph is upward. And when the coefficient of x square is negative, the graph is what? Downward. Got it everyone? So till here हमें ये पता चला कि quadratic polynomial का ग्राफ कैसे बनने वाला है. It is parabolic in shape. And linear का कैसा था? Straight line था. Got it? Okay. If you all got this thing, then let's have a look over this one. The zeros of a quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equals to 0, are the x coordinates of a point where the polynomial y equals to ax square plus bx plus c intersects the x-axis. Means इसका भी 0 क्या होगा? x coordinate x axis को जहाँ पे कट कर रहा होगा आपका ग्राफ, पैराबोला का ग्राफ, those coordinates of x are what? They are nothing but they are the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. Got it? Just read this line once again. So 0 is what? 0 are the x coordinate of a point where the parabola intersects the x-axis. Got it? Okay. if you got this thing, let's have a look over the next slide. And yes, let's have a look over this. Okay, so here what is given? There are three possible cases about the shape of a graph. The graph shape is what? Y equals to ax square plus bx plus c. Alright, so three possible cases are there. Let's have a look. The first is graph cut x-axis at 2 points a and a dash. Okay. First is graph cut the x-axis at 2 points a and a dash. The second case is what? Graph cut x-axis at only 1 point. Okay. And the third case is what? Graph does not cut x-axis at any point. किसी भी पॉइंट में कट नहीं करने वाला है. तो ये थ्री केसेस होंगे. लेट्स हैव अ लुक ओवर दीस केसेस वन बाय वन. सो द फर्स्ट केस इज व्हाट? द ग्राफ कट द एक्स एक्सिस एट टू डिस्टिंक्ट पॉइंट a and a dash. Yeah, the graph may be upward parabola and it may be downward parabola depending upon the coefficient of x square. Okay, so the coordinate of a and a dash are nothing but they are the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. क्योंकि हमें पता है कि zeros क्या होते हैं polynomial के? जहां पे ग्राफ एक्स एक्सिस को कट करता है, एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट्स के वो पॉइंट्स क्या होते हैं? हमारे जीरोस होते हैं. तो हियर जीरोस आर व्हाट? a and a dash are the zeros of this polynomial. Got it? Okay, if you got this thing, let's have a look over the next case. That is the next case, that is second case. Here the graph cuts x axis at exactly 1 point and that 1 point is a. It may be upward parabola, it may be downward parabola. So the x coordinate of a is the only zero of the quadratic polynomial x square plus bx plus c. So यहाँ पे कितने zeros होने वाले हैं? यहाँ पे only one zero because the graph cut the x axis at only 1 point. That's why ये जो a coordinate होगा आपका, that will be the zero. Got it? Let's have a look over the third one, the third case. And the third case is like this. Here the graph does not cut x-axis at any point. किसी भी पॉइंट पे आपका ग्राफ x-axis को कट नहीं करने वाला है. तो क्या होगा? What do you all think? अगर ग्राफ कट ही नहीं करेगा तो हमारे पास क्या होगा? हमारे पास कोई भी जीरो नहीं होगा. We have no zero in this case. Let's have a look. So the quadratic polynomial has no zero in this case. No zero at all. So graph क्या होगा आपका? It may be either completely above, completely below, depending upon the coefficient of what? Depending upon the coefficient of x square. If it is positive, upward. If it is negative, downward. Got it? In this case, we have no zero at all. Okay, till here any doubt? I think everything is clear till here. यहाँ तक सबको सब कुछ clear होगा. Okay, if everything is clear, let's have a look over the next thing. Alright, and what's given in the next? Yes. So which of the following are the, just a minute, which of the following, the question is which of the following are the quadratic polynomial graph? Okay, here we have to tell which of the following are the quadratic polynomial. I know answer is already given, but let's have a look. So here the first one is a parabola and we know that the quadratic polynomial is nothing but it is a parabolic in shape. And what type? It's a downward. This means the coefficient of x square is what? Negative. So first one is a quadratic polynomial. If I talk about the second one, it's a cubic. Actually अभी हमने discuss ही नहीं किया cubic, but ये quadratic क्यों नहीं होगा? Because it is not parabolic in shape. Alright, and again it cuts the x-axis at 3 points. But हमारे quadratic polynomial में maximum कितने points पे cut कर सकता है? 2 points पे. That's why it's not a quadratic polynomial. Alright, and if I talk about the third one, again it's a quadratic polynomial because it cuts the x-axis at exactly 2 points. Got it? Understood? तो अब आपको I think यहाँ तक understood हो गया है कि how we can classify the quadratic and linear polynomial by seeing the graph only. Okay? Alright, now you understood. So let's have a look over the third case. And third case is what? Geometrical meaning of the zeros of a cubic polynomial. So till here we have discussed the linear, we have discussed the quadratic, and now let's have a look over the cubic polynomial. Ready for that everyone? Okay, so here let's take an example that y equals to x cube minus 4x is a cubic polynomial. Okay, and we will put the values of x. Eventually we will get the values of y. We already know this. So if I put different values of x, I will obtain the different values of y. Got it? Like this. Okay, and when I plot these points, means the first point is what? Minus 2 comma 0, minus 1 comma 3, 0 comma 0. What I will get? When I plot these points, I will get the graph like this. Got it? And using this, we observe what? It cuts the x-axis at what? It cuts the x-axis at 3 points. The first one is this point, the second one is this point, and the third one is what? The origin, that is the 0 point. So what are the zeros of this? Zeros are nothing but the coefficient of x square. So minus 2, 0 and 2. So what are the 0 of this graph? Minus 2, 0, 2. Got it? So till here हमें ये तो पता चल गया कि जीरो क्या होता है किसी भी ग्राफ का, whether it is linear, whether it is quadratic, whether it is cubic. क्या होता है? x एक्सिस को जहां पे भी वो ग्राफ आपका कट करेगा उसका कोऑर्डिनेट, x कोऑर्डिनेट, that will be the zero of that graph. Got it? So here the zeros are minus 2, 0 and 2. Okay everyone. So their x coordinates are the only zeros of the polynomial. X coordinate are what? They are the zeros of the polynomial. Clear everyone? Understood? Yes? Okay, if you understood this thing, let's have a look over one more question. And here is the question. Before that, let's have a look some note. So did you know this? Let's have a look what we'll know this. In general, any polynomial px of degree n. Okay, what is degree? Degree is the highest exponent of the polynomial. The graph of y equals to px intersects the x-axis at most n points. What it actually आपको क्या पता चल रहा है इस point से? This point actually shows us that अगर किसी भी polynomial की डिग्री n होगी तो उस polynomial के कितने zeros होने वाले हैं, या फिर वो polynomial x axis को कितनी जगह कट करेगा? At most n points. Means उससे ज्यादा नहीं, उससे कम कर सकता है लेकिन उससे ज्यादा नहीं. For example, if I say that degree of a polynomial is 2, so 2 polynomial का जो आपके 2 डिग्री का ग्राफ होगा, that is a quadratic polynomial graph, वो x axis को कितने जगह पे कट करेगा? At most 2. That is वो 2 इंटरसेक्ट भी कर सकता है, वो ओनली 1 पॉइंट पे भी इंटरसेक्ट कर सकता है, या फिर 0 पॉइंट पे भी इंटरसेक्ट कर सकता है, बट मोर देन 2 वो इंटरसेक्ट नहीं कर सकता. Similarly, if I say that degree of a polynomial is what? Degree of a polynomial is 3. So it will intersect the x-axis at how many points? Either at 0 point, either at 1 point, either at 2 point, either at 3, but not more than 3. Got it? So that's the meaning of this note. And therefore, a polynomial of degree n has at most n zeros. किसी भी polynomial की डिग्री अगर n होगी तो उसके कितने zeros होंगे? n zeros. Because हमें पता है कि x axis को जितनी जगह पे वो कट करेगा उतने उसके क्या होते हैं? Number of zeros होते हैं. That's it. So now you all understood this point also. Yes, everyone understood this point also? Clear or not? Yes, clear. Okay, so if this thing is clear, let's have a look over the next example. Just a minute. And here is the example. So here we have to classify the which of the following are cubic polynomial graph. So again, the first one is a cubic polynomial graph. Why? Because it cuts the x-axis at what? At 3 points. And it's not straight line and it's not a parabola. That's why it's a cubic, because it intersects the x-axis at how many points? At 3 points. Got it? And if I talk about the second one, it's a quadratic polynomial because its shape is a parabolic in shape and it intersects x-axis at what? At 1 point. Got it? And the last one is a linear, because we know that linear polynomial is a straight line and it intersects x-axis at only 1 point. Got it? So this is an example of linear polynomial, this is an example of quadratic polynomial, and this is an example of cubic polynomial. Got it everyone? Yes? Okay. So if you got this one, let's have a look over one more question. Now, what's the question here? Find the number of zeros in the following graph. We have to find the number of zeros in the following graph. And actually answer is given, but let's have a look. So, find the number of zero in the following graph is what? In first graph, how many zero? Zeros are nothing but they are the point where it intersect the x-axis. So here it intersect x-axis at only one point. That's why it consists of how many 0? 1 0. This graph intersect x-axis at how many point? 1 point, 2 point and 3 point. That's why how many zeros? 3 zeros. Got it? And now this one intersect x-axis at how many point? 1 point and 2 point. That's why how many 0? 2 zeros are there. Got it? कोई doubt किसी को? Any doubt till here? No, no doubt at all. Okay, so if no doubt at all, let's have a look over one more question. Alright, here also you have to find the number of zeros in the following graph. And now I know सबको सब कुछ बन जाएगा. But let's solve this question together. Yes, Preeti, good afternoon. Yes, solve this question. Okay, everyone. So solve this question. Here the question is, here the graph is given. Alright, and it intersect x-axis at how many point? At only one point. And that's why how many 0? Only 1 0. Okay. Now let's have a look to the next one. Yes, just a minute everyone. Yeah. Next question is what? It is intersect x-axis at how many point? At only one point. And that's why how many zeros are there? If it intersect x-axis at one point, then how many zeros? Only 1 0. Got it? And moving on to the last question. Last one. It intersect x-axis at 1 point, 2 point, 3 point and 4 point. And that's why how many zeros? 4 zeros. Got it? So, now I think you all understood how to find the number of zeros by using the graph. Very good, Preeti. Yes. You gave me the answers 1, 3, 2. Alright. Now you all understood. What's the answer? Got it, everyone? Any doubt till here? किसी को कोई भी छोटा वाला मोटा वाला doubt? Let me just check in the comment section. Okay, so हमें यहाँ पे पता चल गया कि हम ग्राफ को देखकर number of zeros कैसे बता सकते हैं. So the number of zeros will be equals to the number of point it intersect at x-axis. Got it? Okay, so if you got this one, let's have a look over the next slide. And the next slide is, yes, we are with the end of our session. Yes, so what we have learned in this section, and in the last session, we have discussed the polynomial and its example, zeros of linear and quadratic polynomial, graphical representation of linear polynomial, graphical representation of quadratic polynomial, graphical representation of the cubic polynomial, and with this graph we will understood